It is finally that time of the year again, real live game day in the NFL, and tonight, the stage is set for one of the most anticipated season openers in recent memory. The Dallas Cowboys are making the trip to Philadelphia to face off against the Eagles, kicking off the 2025 NFL season with a matchup that promises drama, strategy, and a little bit of unpredictability. There's something about the first week that always carries extra weight. The offseason hype, the roster adjustments, the trades, the new coaching hires, and all the stories that have built up around these two teams make this opener feel almost like a mini playoff atmosphere. The Eagles have been pegged as the favorites heading into this clash, but history in the NFC East has taught us never to underestimate the Cowboys. No matter what the odds say, every single possession, every matchup, and every decision on the field will matter tonight, and there's so much to break down before kickoff. Looking at the injury reports, both teams are relatively healthy, which is always a huge factor in these early season showdowns for the Cowboys. Trayvon Diggs is active and ready to go, and that's a big deal for their defensive backfield. Diggs brings an elite level of playmaking ability to the secondary, especially in key situations where turnovers can completely shift momentum. Alongside him, Tyler Tunn and Brevin Spann have both been cleared to play following their respective knee and ankle concerns, which gives Dallas a much-needed depth and flexibility. The only notable absence comes from Peyton Winfrey, who is sidelined due to back stiffness. While he isn't a starter and won't dramatically affect the rotation, it's still something the Cowboys' defensive line will need to account for in terms of scheme adjustments. On the Eagles' side, the injury picture is equally manageable. Andrew Makuba and Landon Dickerson are fully active, maintaining the strength of their front and interior lines, while Tanner Muck, a backup quarterback, is rolled out, but that doesn't materially impact Philadelphia's game plan. Both Jalen Carter and Josh Uch are good to go, ensuring the Eagles can bring their usual pressure and disrupt the rhythm of the Cowboys' offense. Essentially, when it comes to health, both sides are entering Week 1 in an enviable position, which means we're likely to see a game defined more by strategy, execution, and matchups than by luck or injuries. Speaking of matchups, the quarterback battle is an obvious point of focus. Dak Prescott has been one of the most dominant NFC East quarterbacks over the past decade, and his history against Philadelphia shows he can rise to the occasion. 33 wins and 8 losses across his career in this division is nothing short of remarkable. And when you narrow it down to games against the Eagles, 9 wins and 4 losses indicate that Prescott knows how to navigate the hostile environment in Philadelphia. However, the challenges are real. Vic Fangio's defensive schemes have historically given Dak trouble, particularly with zone coverages like Cover 4 and Cover 6, which can confuse reads and force quarterbacks into uncomfortable decisions. Fangio's defenses are meticulous and disciplined, designed to disguise pressures and create hesitation in the pocket. Prescott has faced Fangio-led defenses 3 times previously with mixed results, and this matchup tonight will reveal whether he can adjust and maintain efficiency under pressure. The strategic chess match between Prescott and the Eagles' defensive staff will likely be one of the defining narratives of the game, and it's fascinating to consider how much of this game will hinge on execution versus talent. Beyond the quarterback battle, another storyline to monitor is the Cowboys' tendency to start slowly in previous season openers. While Philadelphia under head coach Nick Sirianni has historically hit the ground running in Week 1, the Cowboys have experienced more variability. They have pulled out impressive wins in openers against weaker opponents, but early struggles against top-tier competition have been a recurring theme. Tonight, the focus will be on whether Dallas can establish rhythm early, set the tone offensively, and avoid letting the Eagles dictate the pace. Success in the opening drives will be critical, particularly in setting up the play-action passing game that the Cowboys rely on to stretch the field. Momentum in Week 1 can carry through the early season, so the ability to start fast cannot be overstated. The trenches will also be a key area of focus, particularly the matchups between Dallas' offensive line and Philadelphia's front 7. Jalen Carter stands out as a disruptive force on the Eagles' defensive line, and how the Cowboys handle him could dictate the success of both their run and pass games. Tyler Booker, the young first-round pick on the Cowboys' offensive line, will face one of the sternest tests of his young career. The strategy here will likely involve creating favorable matchups and using misdirection, chip blocks, and smart pre-snap motion to neutralize Carter's impact. If pressure comes consistently, even a quarterback as talented as Prescott can struggle, and that could tilt the balance early in the game. On the flip side, the Cowboys' defensive tackles, including new acquisitions, will need to slow down Philadelphia's running game and apply pressure without overcommitting, maintaining disciplined gap control to prevent the Eagles from establishing an early ground game advantage. The secondary matchup is just as intriguing. The Cowboys' corners, particularly with Diggs back in the mix, will have their hands full against an Eagles wide receiving core that includes some of the best talent in the league. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith present elite challenges on the outside, while Jan Dawson and John Nettie provide solid depth behind them. Covering this group will test both the Cowboys' man-to-man skills and their ability to adjust within zone schemes, the nuance of playing in nickel and dime packages, identifying which matchups to prioritize and rotating personnel to maintain energy levels will be vital for Dallas secondary. Meanwhile, the Cowboys' wide receivers also have opportunities to exploit Philadelphia's defensive backfield. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and Calvin Turpin each bring unique skills and designing routes to take advantage of potential mismatches, particularly in the slot and outside positions, could be the key to sustaining drives and creating explosive plays. Smart scheming here could give Dallas the edge in certain situations, even if Philadelphia remains favored overall. Running the ball effectively will be another storyline to monitor. Javonte Williams has been named the primary back, and he will need to be a workhorse to keep the offense balanced. The Cowboys will rely on him not only to gain yards on the ground, but also to contribute in pass protection and third down scenarios. Establishing a credible rushing threat will force the Eagles to respect both run and play-action pass options, which is crucial when facing a defense as well-coached and disciplined as Philadelphia's. Meanwhile, defensive adjustments on both sides of the ball will hinge on communication, assignments, and in-game decision-making. Players like Kenneth Murray, a linebacker new to the Cowboys, will need to adapt quickly to the pace of live NFL action, and his performance could be critical in containing the Eagles' attack. At the top of it all, the head coaches will play pivotal roles in shaping the game's outcome. Brian Schottenheimer is taking the reins of the Cowboys for the first time as head coach, and his ability to manage in-game decisions, coordinate play calling, and adapt on the fly will be under the microscope, the first true test of his offensive philosophy. Decision-making and leadership will come tonight against a disciplined and talented Philadelphia squad. History shows that head coaching adjustments in Week 1 can have long-term implications for a team season, and all eyes will be on how well the Cowboys execute under new leadership. The synergy between Schottenheimer and Prescott will be particularly interesting to watch, as their collaboration will likely define the offense's rhythm and effectiveness throughout the game. With all of these factors converging, quarterback, duels, offensive and defensive trenches, secondary matchups, running game execution, and coaching decisions, the stage is set for a classic NFC showdown. Both teams are healthy, both have talent, and both have something to prove. The narrative tonight is rich, and every drive, every series, and every matchup will tell a story within the larger tale of the opening week of the 2025 NFL season. Fans should expect drama, strategy, and high-level football as these two storied franchises clash in Philadelphia. The questions are plentiful. Can Prescott navigate Fangio's scheme? Will the Cowboys start fast or repeat past slow starts? Can the offensive line hold up against a disruptive front seven? Will the secondary contain Philadelphia's elite receivers? How will Schottenheimer fare in his first real test as a head coach? Every answer will begin to emerge tonight, and this game has all the makings of a thrilling kickoff to the season. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers have been circulating through the NFL corridors for weeks, but now the bombshell has officially detonated. Jordan Love, the once promising quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, has reportedly agreed to terms with the Dallas Cowboys in a move that is shaking the league to its very core. Sources close to team executives suggest that negotiations were both intense and highly secretive, with multiple parties involved in a high-stakes game of leverage and timing. Fans of the Packers are said to be in disbelief, some expressing shock and outright anger at what many are calling a betrayal, while Cowboys supporters are cautiously optimistic, trying to temper their excitement with the reality of the risks associated with such a bold acquisition. Insiders indicate that the deal includes a combination of performance-based incentives and long-term commitments, signaling Dallas's determination to build around a quarterback who has always carried immense potential, but often struggled to realize it fully under the intense pressure of a Lambeau Field spotlight. Analysts are already dissecting every possible scenario. Will Love be able to adapt to the Cowboys' offensive scheme, which has historically favored mobility and quick decision-making? Or will the weight of expectation prove overwhelming in a new market with national media scrutiny? The implications for the NFC are enormous, with rival teams reportedly reevaluating their strategies to anticipate the impact of Love's arrival. Sources hint that the locker room dynamics in Dallas may also undergo a transformation as veteran leaders prepare to integrate a young quarterback whose career has been defined by both promise and controversy. Rumors have even suggested that the Cowboys may be planning a series of high-profile training sessions and public appearances to solidify Love's image as the face of their franchise, aiming to win over skeptical fans who are wary of sudden superstar acquisitions. The NFL community at large is buzzing with podcasts, sports talk shows, and social media channels dissecting every detail of the transaction, speculating about its long-term consequences not only for Dallas and Green Bay, but for the broader, competitive landscape of professional football, as this move could potentially redefine the quarterback market and set a precedent for future blockbuster deals in the league. Sources close to the negotiation table describe the environment surrounding Jordan Love's signing as electric, a mix of anticipation, anxiety, and strategic calculation that has kept front offices and agents on high alert for weeks. The story, initially dismissed by many insiders as a rumor, gained credibility as whispers turned into subtle leaks and then into a confirmed agreement that has left both casual fans and hardcore analysts scrambling to reassess their projections for the upcoming season. Observers note that Love's career trajectory has been a roller coaster characterized by flashes of brilliance, intertwined with periods of inconsistency, which raises questions about his capacity to thrive under the intense spotlight of Dallas, a franchise notorious for its high expectations and media scrutiny. Moreover, this move has triggered a wave of speculation about the Packers' future plans, as the team now faces the daunting task of either promoting a new quarterback from within or entering the market to secure an alternative, potentially reshaping their roster strategy in ways that can reverberate across multiple seasons. Industry insiders highlight the financial dimensions of the deal, noting that salary structures, bonuses, and cap considerations were meticulously negotiated to ensure a balance between immediate impact and long-term viability. Pundits are dissecting every angle, debating whether Love's transition to the Cowboys represents a career renaissance or a high-risk gamble that could either elevate or derail his professional narrative. The ripple effects extend beyond team rosters, influencing draft strategies, trade discussions, and even the media landscape, as analysts rush to provide comprehensive coverage of what might be one of the most surprising and consequential moves in recent NFL history. Fans on social media platforms are particularly vocal, creating a mix of memes, hot takes, and analytical threads that underscore both excitement and apprehension, reflecting the passionate and unpredictable nature of football fandom when faced with news of such magnitude. The Cowboys' locker room atmosphere is reportedly preparing for a significant cultural shift, with veteran leaders expected to mentor and support Love, while also negotiating the subtle dynamics of integrating a high-profile new player who commands attention both on and off the field. Meanwhile, the broader NFL ecosystem is abuzz with speculation as rival teams anticipate the potential strategic shifts and look to capitalize on any perceived vulnerabilities during this period of transition. The narrative surrounding Jordan Love's move to Dallas has quickly evolved from a whispered rumor into a full-blown media frenzy, with every outlet vying for the latest insight into how this unexpected signing will reshape the competitive dynamics of the NFC and beyond. Analysts are pointing out that Love's skill set, which combines a strong arm with mobility and a capacity for improvisation, could complement the Cowboys' existing offensive assets in ways that were previously untapped, creating opportunities for innovative play calling that could confound defensive coordinators across the league. Yet the pressure is undeniable. Love must quickly develop chemistry with key receivers, understand complex playbooks, and perform under the glaring national spotlight that comes with representing a franchise with championship aspiration, and a historically demanding fan base. Industry insiders reveal that the Cowboys coaching staff is already devising specialized drills and conditioning programs designed to accelerate Love's acclimation, highlighting the organization's commitment to maximizing his potential while minimizing growing pains. Rumors hint at intense private meetings between Love and team executives where strategic priorities, performance metrics, and public relations expectations were carefully outlined, signaling a highly coordinated approach to both his athletic and cultural integration. Observers have noted that this move has created a domino effect, with other NFL teams reassessing quarterback stability, roster flexibility, and draft positioning, potentially triggering a flurry of trades, signings, and tactical adjustments that could reverberate across the league. Social media commentary has been relentless, ranging from supportive optimism to pointed criticism, reflecting the polarization that often accompanies sudden high-profile acquisitions, particularly when they involve a player transitioning from a rival team. Fans of Green Bay are expressing disappointment and nostalgia for what might have been, while Dallas supporters are cautiously optimistic, eager to see how Love's presence might alter the trajectory of their team's championship pursuit. Meanwhile, pundits are speculating about the broader implications for league dynamics, considering whether Love's move could inspire a new wave of quarterback mobility across franchises, challenging traditional notions of loyalty, development, and strategic planning, even within the Cowboys organization. Whispers circulate about how the locker room culture will adapt to accommodate a young quarterback, with both immense talent and lingering questions about consistency, highlighting the delicate balance between nurturing potential and maintaining team cohesion. The unfolding story is a case study in sports rumor turned reality, demonstrating how a single high-stakes decision can electrify fans, disrupt assumptions, and reshape the professional football landscape almost overnight. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.